This episode is brought to you by Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to sign up using the link in the description will get their first 2 months free. With tensions mounting between Turkey and Russia, it's more and more likely that at some point, the two nations may clash. While Turkey can count on its NATO allies, just what capabilities can it offer if forced to stand on its own against the former Cold War superpower? In today's episode of the Infographic Show, we're taking a look at Turkey and Russia's militaries and how they compare. All-out war between the two nations is highly unlikely. Russia's limited Black Sea Fleet makes an amphibious assault a suicidal proposition, and any attempt to enter into Turkey via the Caucasus would bog down both nations in extremely heavy fighting with barely any gains on either side. Perhaps in a multi-year conflict, Russia's superior economy and industry could grind Turkey down in the Caucasus, but the mountainous terrain would highly favor Turkish defenders who would extract a horrific toll on Russian forces. In the end, Russia could at best hope to force Turkey to the negotiating table and gain some economic concessions, but currently and for the foreseeable future, Russia simply lacks the amphibious assault capabilities to bypass the formidable Caucasus Mountains and the firepower to punch through Turkey's heavily defended northeast border by land. Instead, a conflict between the two nations would be almost entirely an air war of attrition, with Russia and Turkey both seeking to thin out each other's air forces while striking at vital military and commercial hubs. In this regard, Russia would be at a definite advantage, boasting a staggering number of air defense units to include the famed S-400 and soon its upgrade, the S-500. The S-400 anti-air missile system is capable of striking at incoming enemy planes, ballistic missiles, and can even be reprogrammed to strike at targets on the ground. Each system also boasts a maximum range of 250 miles and a max altitude of 98,000 feet. By comparison, Turkey still overwhelmingly operates the MIM-23 air defense system, which, while modernized, still lacks in both max range and ceiling, with a range of 28 miles and a ceiling of 65,000 feet. Turkey also uses the British-built Rapier short-range air defense system, which, with a range of 8,000 meters and a maximum ceiling of 10,000 feet, plus a very spotty service record around the world, would be all but useless against Russian air forces. Russia would also hold a huge advantage in the air, with a total air power strength of 3,914 aircraft, 818 of them which are fighters, and 1,416 multi-role or attack aircraft. By comparison, Turkey only has a fleet of 1,056 aircraft, 207 of which are fighters, and 207 being multi-role or attack aircraft. The Su-35 flanker is Russia's most numerous fighter, with the US-built F-16 being Turkey's. While Turkish pilots train, on average, 60 hours a year more than their Russian counterparts, Turkey's F-16s would be hard-pressed in a matchup against a squadron of Su-35s. Because Turkey's F-16s do not feature an active electronically scanned array or AESA radar upgrade, they would have a difficult time detecting Russia's flankers at long range, while the flankers themselves would be able to spot Turkey's F-16s from much further out. Without outside aid, Russia's flankers would nearly always have the initiative and deny Turkey's F-16s the one superiority they do enjoy over Russian jets, the AIM-9X family of anti-air missiles. With a more powerful rocket motor, the AIM anti-air missile is more suitable for engagement at long distances, while the Russian R-77 anti-air missile features both boost and sustained rocket stages, which makes their missiles more maneuverable at medium ranges. With F-16s being unable to gain target lock on incoming Russian flankers at long ranges, flankers could thus wait to fire until they neared their more optimal, closer firing ranges, neutralizing AIM's long-range advantages. Both nations' naval fleets would likely see some action, and here Russia would be at a probable disadvantage. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Russia's navy suffered the worst of the decade-and-a-half-long neglect that followed, and only recently started to see some modernization funds come its way. Yet of all of Russia's 5 fleets, the Baltic Sea Fleet has been the most neglected, featuring Soviet-era ships and outdated technology. With 45 ships and 7 submarines, Russia has the numbers advantage against Turkey, which operates 26 surface warships and 12 submarines. Yet, more advanced technology on the Turkish side would make the Russian fleet vulnerable, But with the Russian Air Force probably achieving air superiority over most of the Black Sea, the Russian fleet would be too well protected for the Turkish fleet to force a confrontation. Any attempt to reinforce the Russian Black Sea fleet with vessels from Russia's other 4 fleets would be a suicidal run through the Dardanelles Strait, with well-fortified Turkish forces stationed on either side. In all likelihood, there would be little action between the two nations' fleets. Should Russia attempt a ground invasion, it could likely only attempt to do so through Georgia, though it would likely face attacks by Georgian forces still embittered against Russia after the 2008 Russian-Georgian War. This would place its land supply routes at huge risk and force Russian troops to fight through the very easily defended Caucasus Mountains. Yet should Russia attempt to do so, it would be bringing with it the T-72 main battle tank, which makes up the bulk of its forces. While Turkey does operate more modern tanks, the bulk of its own fleet is made up of American-made M60 Pattons. In a one-on-one fight, Russian T-72s would enjoy a major advantage with their largest 125 caliber barrel versus the Patton's 105. The T-72's thicker armor would also make it all but impossible for the underpowered Patton to kill one with a frontal head-on shot. However, base model Pattons are all equipped with thermal sights, while the T-72 is not and must rely on very expensive upgrade packages. This would give Turkey a decisive advantage when attacking at night and would eliminate one of the T-72's other advantages, its ability to fire gun-launched anti-tank guidance missiles at very long ranges. If you enjoyed this episode and like learning about the military, why not try one of the dozens of military history classes available on Skillshare? You can take a class on the inner workings of the Mongol Empire and learn how the fearsome Genghis Khan took over the known world, or check out the history of the American Civil War. You can learn about these and many other topics by joining Skillshare. Premium membership will give you unlimited access to topics that will improve your knowledge and your life. The first 1,000 people to sign up by visiting Skillshare.com/infographics34 or by clicking the link in the description will receive 2 months of Skillshare absolutely free. Join Skillshare and start learning today. So, who do you think would win in a one-on-one war? Which nation's jets, tanks, and missiles are truly better? Let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out our other video called The FBI versus the CIA. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time!